Okay, so in this video we are going to talk about the the rings around the eyes, and you can see that I'm actually going to be using the gradient texture. And after pressing the Control T with the node wrangler add-on, you can see that it actually have added a mapping node and a coordinate node. So in order to fix the direction, we need to rotate it on the x and y axis by 90 degree. And as you can see, the direction is actually fixed now. Now we just need to make sure that we use the color ramp and start tweaking the value so that we basically can create a ring around it. And the way we are going to be doing it is we are just going to be start adding multiple of these flags, and you're going to see that how we'll be able to create the rings. So what you need to do, you need to basically create a middle flag to be black, and you basically just need to alternate between these. And you can see that's basically how I have created these rings. But that's just not it. We are also gonna be tweaking it manually, and we are gonna see that ahead. So yeah, right now these are the rings, and now with the flags, you can actually just adjust this. So if I were to just elongate the node, you can see you basically get a little bit more control over these rings. And that's basically how I have created these rings. And after the ring creation, I basically have baked that into an image. And after that, I was actually able to put that image into the GIMP, which you are gonna see in this video. And I was actually able to just manually adjust the rings. So that was the workflow. And now I'm just gonna show it to you. As you can see, after the rings have been created, I am actually baking the rings, and the color, the rings are on top of the color with the multiply. As you can see, like you're gonna see it right now. So these are the rings, and now I'm just going to bake it. So you basically can also see the color, right? This is the bake that we have created. Now I'm just going to put it into the GIMP, and we are just gonna start painting. Okay, so in this particular part, I am just trying to figure out if the pixels are not less, and I am just trying to compare if the pixels in the images are actually decent enough to have all the details that we have created in the blenders. Now that we know that this image actually is enough, we can actually just put it into the GIMP now. Also, by the way, you can see that I'm actually just switching between the image and the real color to see if there is anything different, and there is not, which means that this image is actually good enough. So now we have this image in the GIMP, and we can actually just start changing the rings so that we can actually just start adding a little bit of variation in the rings. You're gonna see that first thing I'm gonna do, I am actually just gonna select this brush, and this brush is basically a little bit random brush. You can see on the right hand side we have multiple of these random brushes that actually gives us nice looking texture. I am just using one of those brushes in this particular part. I am also just picking up the neighboring colors, as you can see, just picking up the neighboring colors and painting it out so that we can actually just blend in pretty nicely. I mean, you can like you're gonna be able to see the workflow. So as you can see, I am just picking up the neighboring colors. It's not something like super complicated, and I am just gonna start adding randomization in these rings now. Okay, one more thing. I'm not really that good in GIMP as much as I am in Photoshop. So you can see that I'm gonna just randomly click some stuff, and it is just gonna do something. So I have to undo it. Again, that is to show you that if you don't have prior knowledge to GIMP, but you know a little bit of Photoshop, you'll be able to just do it pretty fine, like do this particular part. Even though this is like one of those things that the character that you are creating might not have possessed these rings around the eyes. For some reason, I actually have seen so many of the references, but he is the only person that actually have these. So that is quite weird. I mean, there is, I personally feel like 99% probability that you don't have something similar going on with your character. So you can totally just skip this part, by the way. It is totally up to you. If you think that this is something that your character does not have, you can just skip this part. But yeah, I am actually fixing this stuff. The reason I'm doing it in this particular way, I could have, by the way, baked it onto the color attributes, and I could have actually done the same thing in Blender. That is also one of those options that I had. But I actually wanted to show you that you can do the same thing in the GIMP as well. So you are not bounded with only one software. In this particular case, I actually wanted to see the gray value that I want to add. And you're gonna see in the future, I am actually just gonna come back to the GIMP, and I am gonna be changing this gray value and repainting this particular part again, because in the test render it turned out to be that the gray was actually a bit too bright, so I need to lower down the brightness. That's the reason I actually had to redo this particular part, but it is totally fine. It's not really gonna take that long. This is like one of those things that your character is not gonna have probably. Mine is the only one who actually have that. Okay, so I am actually done painting it, and now we are just going to be exporting it so that we can check whether the paint is working or not, whether the image is working or not. So I'm just going to export it out now, and I have imported that in Blender. So as you can see, that's how it is looking now. So let's actually just try and connect the shaders. I really don't wanna show the shader because this is not really that complicated. I'm just replacing the base color, so you can see how it is looking. Also, one thing that you can notice is the lens color is actually a bit darker, so that is basically been done purposely. And yeah, you can see how dark the eyes are looking right now and how much of the variation these have. Now I'm just going to make these lines a bit thicker, and also the gray color that we painted is also gonna be a bit lighter. And yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna be changing. And I am just gonna go again, and I'm just gonna let you watch it. That's basically how I have created this texture. So I really hope that it was not super hard to follow or anything, because I felt like this is not something that all the eyes are gonna have, but for some reason he has it. So I had to do it, and I just wanted to show you the process. So yeah.